Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of If Beale Street Could Talk. So, of course, tonight we got this lovely little movie poster, which is actually a super artistic and pretty poster, but also this pretty nifty and awesome notebook, just like a regular notepad, but obviously If Beale Street Could Talk version, and it's actually a really cute, nice little notepad, I think, as well as these lovely little bookmarks. So, lots of fun little giveaways tonight at the screening. Now, for the film. If Beale Street Could Talk is getting tons of award buzz, in particular for Regina King for supporting actress. And it comes from director Barry Jenkins, who directed the Best Picture winning Moonlight, which I think was absolutely exceptional. Just a really, really good film. So naturally, the excitement was high. The anticipation was building for this film, and I couldn't wait to finally see it. I have to say it was a really solid movie. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. I want to start with Barry Jenkins and his direction because this film was a piece of art, first and foremost, I'd say. What a beautiful movie. The shots were just gorgeous. And it was similar to some things we saw in Moonlight, where he loves to just get these shots of faces. And I think it worked really well in this film. But the color palette was beautiful. The cinematography was also just absolutely stunning in this movie. Top to bottom, this film was a piece of moving art. It was gorgeous from start to finish. And that original score is mesmerizing. I thought the music used in this film was beautiful. Just absolutely stunning. The main love refrain in particular was one of the best pieces of music I think I've heard in a film this year. It was really beautiful. And it's nice to have such a moving, sweeping, epic score that sounds nothing like the big blockbuster, moving, sweeping, epic scores. As for the acting, I think everybody in the film does a really good job. Our two leads are wonderful in the film. Regina King is also very good in the movie. Everybody does what they need to do very well. And the story rings true even through to today. The story of injustices committed against the black population of the United States and how it's done. How it works and seeps its way into our justice system. And this is no fairy tale, not in the least. And it just shows the average, everyday person and how this ruins their life, honestly. And it really kind of gives a good, solid background to the injustices of our current day system. And it really helps to build the insight on why the things are so heavily skewed towards minorities when it comes to imprisonment. Even in 2018, give some context and backstory to how systematically this has been done throughout the U.S. history and how hard that is to break. And then how that seeps into the mindset of the population that is being discriminated against, and then how it all turns into this really big, sad, depressing, perpetuating story. And oh my gosh, the costumes were amazing. Everything that our female lead wears in this movie is wonderful. I thought all of the costuming work in this movie just worked and just added to the overall beautiful, masterfully done aesthetic of the movie. And I really liked our characters. I liked all of our main characters in this film. I just enjoyed being around most all of them. In particular, I loved the sister in this movie. I just loved her. I loved the mom. I loved the dad. All of our characters were really great. But that point about those characters is actually going to lead me into my negatives. Now, I know this main romance is kind of our main story here. It's the focus of the film. However, I was just dying to spend more time with all of our side characters. So Regina King is the definite, clear frontrunner. She's kind of running away with the Best Supporting Actress nominations and awards throughout the season. I just really wish she was in the film more. I wanted more of her, more from her. I think she capitalizes on every scene that she's in and really kind of steals the spotlight in every scene she's in. But I just wish she was in the film more. And then the sister, we get to know this sister right off the bat, and she has like a scene stealing moment early on in the film that was absolutely stellar. And then we only see her in passing a couple of times for the rest of the film. The father, our male lead, his family literally is in one scene, and we never hear from the females of his family again. And I think that was just a big missed opportunity, because the family dynamic in that one scene was so stellar that it was a shame not to revisit it and to not spend more time with these really rich characters. And in saying that, maybe it's because I'm a cynic and my heart is cold, but the romance was the least interesting part of this film for me, and probably the part we spent the most time on overall. I was more invested in the modern day story. And every time we went into flashbacks, we would get very pleasant moments. That's where we got the amazing sequences of the musical score. But the romance itself was lovely enough, and it looked beautiful, but I just wasn't quite as interested in that, and I always was finding myself wanting to get back to the current story at hand. And I wasn't really a big fan of the narration nonlinear structure. Again, because I think it kind of messed with the pacing here a little bit, to where it really kind of would come to a halt in those flashbacks, and then we would pick back up. Whereas I think if we had just developed it and gone a little bit more linear, personally, I would have found it a bit more effective. But also the narration left things to feel a little bit heavy-handed, and it didn't quite work as well as it could have without the narration, if the story had just kind of spoken for itself. And then even in the end, we get real life photographs and footage and stories to hit home the message. So the narration wasn't my favorite thing. So overall, I think this is a very solid film. It definitely is a slow burn, and I think it starts to feel like a slow burn thanks to its structure and narration. But it has something important to say about our legal system and how we've gotten to the point we're at. And it does, more or less, create an effective love story in the midst of it all, if that's a little bit more your speed. Plus, if you just love film, this is a must-see on the big screen, because the direction, cinematography, score, costuming, all of the technical aspects of this film are sublime. So for film buffs, I think this is definitely a full price ticket at the movie theater. I think there is so much to take in and observe and just immerse yourself in that you won't regret going to see this, and you need to see it on the big screen. However, for just an average moviegoer looking for a film to see over this holiday season, I think this is a rental. You're definitely going to want to see it before the Academy Awards, because I think it is going to garner quite a few nominations. So do your homework. And the performances are so good, these characters are so rich, that I think you will get something out of the film. Plus, that message obviously needs to be translated. So give it a rental once it comes out to Redbox. So that is my review of If Beale Street Could Talk. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see If Beale Street Could Talk? Or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!